Hey guys, welcome to Decorator's Warehouse, where we're going to teach you 4 easy steps to create a beautiful professional themed tree for your home. And if you're new here, I'm Kristen, teacher of all things Christmas. So we're going to break it down. It's so simple that anyone can do it. Let's go ahead and get started. So let's talk for a second about the actual design process. I know it can be so intimidating to even know where to start when you're coming up with a theme for your tree. It can be any piece that you love. So if you go into a store and you see an ornament that just really speaks to you, start there. Use that to base your colors and your patterns and your whole design around it. Y'all know me, it's gotta be the ribbon. So when I was designing this peppermint tree, I saw this and I knew right away that this was gonna be the basis of my design. I mean, how fun is that? It's got candy canes, peppermint rounds. So this is gonna be the star of the show on this tree. So this is my main ribbon, and when I say main ribbon, it's gonna be front and center. So when you look at this tree, you're gonna overwhelmingly see this design. And then this is my supporting ribbon. And when I say supporting ribbon, it's gonna go a little bit under the peppermint ribbon. It's a little bit of a textural ribbon, so it's not gonna overwhelm this, it's just gonna support it. It's got the same color patterns, and then I just love like this little fun pom-pom detail. A good quality ribbon really takes it over the top. It's gonna have a nice backing to it, as well as a good wired edge. So this is not what you're gonna find in a craft store. This is a luxury ribbon. We have hundreds to choose from at Decorator's Warehouse. If the design process completely overwhelms you, we understand that. As men and women who are busy and have careers, but also love creating memories and backdrops for our families, we have come up with the solution. It's our Christmas tree bundles. They're packages, full themed packages that give you all the ribbon, florals, sprays that you need to recreate this look in your home. So we've done all the work, taken the guesswork out. It's gonna save you time because you don't have to go to the store and try to pick out the pieces that work together. We have done that all for you. Today, we're gonna be doing our Candy Cane Lane bundle. I think you're gonna enjoy it. It's a really fun design. Before we get started, if you have this bundle, or really any theme for that matter, I like to do a little bit of prep work. And what I do is I like to take all of my pieces, take them out of bags, remove the tags. I'm gonna organize them by the type of pieces that we have. I'm gonna put all my ornaments together, all my sprays, and then I'm gonna spend a little bit of time fluffing my tree. Now this tree is already fluffed, but if I was starting from scratch, I'd start at the bottom and work my way up. And you're gonna go branch by branch, opening up all the limbs. So these are gonna go straight up in the back. And then as you get closer to the front of the branch, you want to start to angle those out. We're going into our topper, and for our topper, we're going to use a series of stems that have some height to it. I'm using 3 of each of my filler stems. 3 is great for 7.5 foot or 9 foot tree, just because it's going to create the symmetry around. So this one is new for 2025. I just absolutely adore it because it's got balls, the cute little ribbon detail. I'll also be using this in my cluster. And then the key on my stems in the top is we want different textures. So we have kind of a concentrated flocked one. This is nice and airy, this berry with a little bit of snow on it. Then we've got a whimsical shape. These are just really fun. It's gonna add a little bit of color through the top. And then this is one of my all-time favorite stems, just because of its airiness. It's got these fun little berries, the leaf detail as well. I use this in everything. So we're gonna start with our biggest and our bulkiest piece, which is this one, and I'm gonna kind of place them, one on each side. And I'm gonna go one style at a time. And I just wanna run my stem straight along the pole. And then I just use some of the branches of the tree itself to wrap it in place and give it a little bit of extra stability. So for my second stem, I'm gonna use the fun berry, and we just wanna open it up so it's real nice and airy. And then we're gonna run the stem kind of right in between the ones that we've already placed. Now I'm coming in with this whimsical design. I love this because it's gonna give us that little fun punch of color. And lastly, I'm gonna go ahead and add this one. Now I'm using 3 of each of these 4 styles, but if you like a fuller topper, you can use anywhere from like 5 to 7 pieces of each style. All of my sprays are placed, and now we're gonna use ribbon to kind of cap this topper, and then it'll kind of pull into the rest of the design. So if you've ever watched my 4-step process videos, you'll kind of see how we're using pieces to just fill in the whole base of this tree. So we're gonna start with our supporting ribbon, and we're gonna create a little bit of a tail. I almost like to make a little bow right at the base. So we're gonna do a 2-loop bow. So I'm just folding it to make a loop, and then we wanna twist it, bringing that pretty side forward, and then making another loop. All right, so I've got my 2-loop bow, and we're gonna just tuck it right here at the base, using the branches to hold it in place. And we'll pull the tail up. And then we're gonna go immediately, we're gonna kind of billow this out, and we're gonna tuck it. So I'm coming down about 2 branches. And then we wanna cut this. So I'm gonna fold it, and then I'm going to create a diagonal cut. My tail's gonna be about 6 to 8 inches. Now I don't wanna forget about my pretty ribbon. Like I said, this is the star of the show, and we need to give it its proper stage. So I've cut my dovetail. I'm basically gonna be laying this kind of right here in the middle, and then creating a billowing effect out. So got my tail, I'm gonna make 1 loop and twist. So like, see how cute that is? And then we're just gonna lay it right here on top. And I'm following that same curve, and I'm gonna lay it into the same branches. Oh my gosh, that's already looking so cute. So let's go ahead and cut a tail here. So fun. Okay, the other thing I wanna do on my topper layer, I'm also gonna kind of cap this area using some of the florals from this design. So I have this really pretty iced red one. We're gonna angle it up and out a little bit, and then just run that straight down. So what we're doing is we're hiding the mechanics. You've got a lot of stems going here. This is concealing everything that's going on. Plus it just looks cute. And then I also have the fur, I love the fur. So we're gonna put this one kind of up in this area. Same thing, angle it out, and just run that stem straight. We can do that on the other sides as well, so I'm gonna use the same florals. I'm using one of my favorite trees today too. This is the 9-foot Aleutian. It's just a beautiful flock tree, and I think it's perfect for this peppermint design. All right, we're gonna go into the second layer, which is our ribbon. And as you can see, we've already kind of started. We've added a little bit into the base of our topper. Now we're gonna continue this process through the body of the tree. So we're gonna be working in billows. We're gonna be cutting our ribbon, which I know it's gonna scare some of y'all, but don't be scared. It's funny how many of y'all come into the store and tell me that you cut your ribbon. It really makes the world of difference. Gives you control of where it's going, and it just gives it such a nice shape too. So again, I'm gonna start with my supporting ribbon, my base layer ribbon. And since we're over there, we're gonna kind of come to the midpoint and over. So I'm gonna start my next continuation right in this area of the tree. And just doing the same thing, although this time I'm gonna start with 1 loop, 1 smaller loop. So I've got my tail, let's fold and twist. See, and this is what's so great about a quality ribbon. So I can tuck this right here, twist it in, and then look what happens when I run my hand. It just creates such a nice shape. And I think on this one, I've got my little loop. I'm gonna do 1 more loop coming in this direction. So now we're gonna pull over to here and just do 1 more billow there. So cute. And then we're gonna cut a tail. And I've got a little piece here, but we're not gonna waste it. So I can show you a way that we'll use that in a little bit. The great thing about ribbon too, it's never the same. I could do 100 trees and my ribbon would look different on every single tree because I'm really just doing kind of what speaks to me in the moment. Instead of starting here, I'm actually gonna start kind of in this middle point, and we're gonna create a loop, and we're just gonna tuck that right in at the middle point. And then I'm gonna go in the other direction. See, so cute. And then I think I'll cut my tail there. And again, a good quality ribbon, so I can give it a fun little detail. It's gonna hold that shape. Okay, then my third continuation, I'm gonna kind of come to the middle point and over. We're gonna start in this area of the tree, just doing what feels right. No rhyme or reason. If you've tried these ribbon techniques, comment below. Let us hear how it's going. Then every time I billow, I'm usually going down like maybe 2 rows of branches. And then I'm going like maybe 1/3 of the way into the branch and using the branches itself to tuck it. I'm wrapping those branches around. And then for this one, I just left a longer tail, which I can kind of tuck in. See how cute. And then I have probably about 3 yards or so, so I'm gonna do that as a continuation. Do 2 loops. So kind of like what we did at the beginning, I've got a 2-loop bow, tuck it right here in the middle. As promised, I'm coming back to this last little tail. Like I said, we don't waste. So I have dovetailed both sides and we're using it. I also have a tail, just with a strip of this. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay them on top of each other, and then we're just gonna find a little spot that needs some color, and then we're gonna tuck it into that spot. And there we go. So never waste. All right, we finished the first 2 steps of our 4-step process. We're going into the 3rd step, which is our florals and sprays. And we are gonna be creating some beautiful floral clusters, or tree bouquets, I like to call them that too. But basically it's a grouping of sprays and flowers. We make it into one piece and then we insert them into the tree to fill in big chunks of space. So they cover a lot of real estate, which is one reason that I love them. You can use them in your vases, you can put them in your garland. There's so many different uses for them. But we're gonna be using this stem, which gosh, I love this stem. Like I said, it's new this year. It's big, it's punchy. It's got a fun little like ribbon detail, which is super cute. So we'll start with that. And then we're gonna layer in our airy berry. So it's like we're marrying them together. We want this to look like one piece. And kind of pull some in each direction. And then we're gonna come in with our flowers. We'll just lay that on top and angle that head out. I already twisted that, but we're gonna use it anyway. We're gonna put this in the other direction and angle that head out. And then you're gonna come in with your stem and wrap it all together. You don't have to do this part. If you wanna leave them not attached, that works too. But I like doing this because then I can just throw them into my tubs at the end of the season and then pull them out ready to go next year. So there we go. Super fun. So that's my floral cluster. You're gonna wanna use like an odd number. So for my 9-foot tree, I'm using 9 in the body, you know, like 7 on a 7.5. Or if you have a bigger tree or you like it really full, maybe like start at that and go up a little bit. So now we're just gonna zigzag through the tree and we're gonna angle these up into the branches. What we're doing is creating a cascade down. So just kind of push it in, using the branch to hold it in place. So you can see I'm filling up a lot of real estate with that cluster. So since I'm over there, I'm gonna come in with my next one. We're gonna kind of go in this area. And then I'm gonna jump back to this side and just keep zigzagging through the tree. Okay, all my clusters are placed. I'm coming in with these, which I absolutely adore. Just a fun little detailing. We're gonna zigzag in kind of the opposite formation now, so placing them like between the clusters that we already have. And again, I have a 9-foot tree. I have 9 of these single stems. And I'm not really doing like the full back, but if I was, I maybe would go up a little bit and maybe go with 12. Okay, so let's talk sprays for a minute. Sprays are the fillers that we're gonna use to create the texture and dimension on the tree. When choosing your fillers, you wanna look for different shapes and different dimensions. So I've got like a whimsical shape, this really fun kind of flocked muted berry, something with some ice that's gonna give it a little bit of sparkle and shine. This one's great just because it creates a lot of texture in the tree, and then something fun like this. So I've got 5 styles, 1 per foot of tree. So 9-foot tree, 9 pieces per style. Let's talk about how we're gonna insert these sprays as well. So I'm gonna take this one first, and rather than just sticking this straight into the tree, we don't wanna do that. So we are going to first separate the spray. So I'm basically just kind of bending it down. so that when I angle this into the tree, it's gonna cascade or fall down. It's gonna look really pretty too. So we're gonna run that stem up the branch and then see how it just kind of fills out the area. When we're placing our sprays, we're gonna work one style at a time, and basically we're zigzagging through the tree. So same thing that we've done on the clusters and the single stems. We're gonna be here, 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 and so forth. I'm gonna come in with this one next. Same thing, just kind of zigzagging through the tree. Okay, we're on to step 4, which is our ornament layer. This is kind of like the icing on the cake. And we have some really fun ornaments we're gonna be adding in today. So I've got some glass and some really punchy patterns. The stripe is gonna really catch the eye when you look at this design. And then just these fun glitter balls, which I love. They're gonna reflect the light. These guys are my favorite. They've got the cute little striped coat, and there's 2 styles of them. So I love that to complement the design. And then in addition, I've got, again, just really fun punchy patterns. So this one has the little bow on it, which I love. And then this one's gonna bring everything together. So I'm gonna start with these since they're not glass. These are gonna go a little bit deeper into the tree, and then I'm gonna pull all that glass forward to the outer branch. So on my ornaments, I like to work in odd numbers. I've got 7 of these, so I'm gonna start with these. And again, zigzagging through the tree one style at a time. Okay, when you've got an ornament with a long string like this, the last thing we wanna do is just stick it on like that, because what does our eye go to? It goes to that string. So I'm gonna teach you a little trick. I've been doing this for years, but we're gonna slide this string over the branch. I'm going a little ways in, I'm probably 4 or 5 inches in, and then I'm holding the string around the branch and wrapping it like that. So what it's doing, it's holding that ball close to the branch itself, and it just looks a lot better to the eye. Also, the trick with ornaments is we want depth. So we don't want every ornament on the same plane. So some of these I'm actually gonna tuck deeper into the tree. It's concealing the pole and just giving us that little fun pop of color. All right, guys, we are done with this theme. I'm just obsessed. I think it's so fun. Comment below, tell us what you think. Tell us what theme you're doing this year. And if you like individual pieces shown here or this whole package, hop on over to Decorator's Warehouse and I'll link it below. You can buy this full Candy Cane Lane bundle, everything you need to recreate this look at home. And if you enjoyed our content, be sure to hit subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the latest and greatest Christmas content. Thank you guys. Merry Christmas and happy decorating.